Is that what you wanted, you vultures? Demanding that we play the ukulele every day? Well, now you got what you wanted. Okay.
Alright, cool the fuck down. This is a story of a dick from New Zealand and a woman from England stuck in lockdown together in the city of London. This is day 56. And I think he's finally lost it.
Hey, you're a dick too. Like, don't forget that. It's not like I'm the only dick. Like, that's totally unfair. Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's a little bit of ukulele over.
No, you played it last night. That was enough.
What do you mean last night?
You played it. You sat up here and played it while I watched something on telly.
Why do you think I got so good at playing the ukulele?
Yeah, well, don't practice now.
Practice? It's giving everyone a treat. All right, anyway, okay, fine, that's fine. You know, we are getting a lot of social feedback, though, that, you know, people wanted me to play the ukulele again. It's all right.
Yeah.
Just giving the people what they want,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And weirdly, it's a lot more people. We've, like, our listenership's gone up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it was passing...
Is it into double figures now?
I just mean that I'm not going to confirm or deny that.
It's just got into double figures.
No, it's much more that I don't know. Like I did add us to Stitcher, so if anyone's listening to us on Stitcher, welcome.
I don't know what that is.
It's just another platform for listening to stuff. So now we're on Podbean and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Stitcher, and then there's like a bunch of other sites that seem to have picked us up, and it's like I think they just look around for the feed and then they add it to their own websites or something. Hang on, I'm trying to find it. So there's here we go, view more. Yeah, so by far and away the biggest listenership we have is on Spotify. So kia ora everyone. Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Firefox. There's this other thing called Podcast Addict. So whoever's listening to us on that, g'day. Chrome, Stitcher, Android Player, Castbox, Stage Fright. Like, I don't know what these are. I certainly haven't added us to all of those. But yeah, suddenly our listenership has gone up, which is kind of cool, you know. But yeah, we're getting a lot more downloads a day. I don't understand that. Although I did find a setting where I could add subgenres to the show. So previously we were like in the journal category or something, like daily fucking who knows. And then it let me add like 2 extra categories. So I added comedy and I added movie reviews because we're so good at both those things. And now we've just got so many more listeners, which is just great. Hi, welcome. You are not getting value for money. Yeah. And remember, you're getting this for free. So today is day 56. Is it a Thursday? No?
Thursday, yes.
It is a Thursday.
Yes.
Okay, great. So it's a Thursday here in the UK. What have we got to talk about today?
You made a cake?
I did make a cake. So one of my friends in Australia hasn't been feeling too flash. And I thought we've got a little WhatsApp chat group, and I thought, well, why not? Let's have a bake off, and then we'd have our results, share our results with each other tomorrow, because that's a nice distraction. It's something to do for a day if you're a terrible baker, like some people, like myself. If you're decent, then it's all over and done in an hour. I'm not saying that he's a bad baker, but I'm not going to back him to have it all done in an hour. I think. I don't imagine he bakes that often. I don't imagine.
So what you've got to bake by a particular time, UK time?
So their time in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So there's people in the WhatsApp group here in the UK, and then there's people back down in Australia. So, their time. So the end of their day today, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. When I wake up tomorrow morning, that should be about when we all share our results. Okay. And our results are currently sitting on the bench in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Didn't turn out too badly.
No.
I mean, visually it looks okay.
Yeah.
It hasn't had the ultimate taste test yet.
No.
The icing might be a bit not good.
Yeah. You went a bit off piste with the icing, I would say.
Well, it's just that we had no icing sugar, and I tried to get icing sugar today,
Yeah.
but couldn't get icing sugar.
No. So
No.
what did you buy instead? Double cream.
Well, I was always
Yeah,
going to
exactly. Go figure that one out.
I was
people.
always going to put cream in the cake. That is something that we
Yeah.
do back home.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got your cake, and in between the two slices, you've got cream.
Yuck.
Yeah, well, anyway, you're not going to be eating it.
No, I'm not. It's not gluten free.
So it's a lot of cake. I'm not going to get through it. I might have to go around the neighbours and be like, hey, would you like some cake? They were like, aren't you the unpopular neighbours that we all hate? We'd be like, yes,
No,
that's
that's
us.
next door.
No, I'm pretty sure it's us. We went outside. We were in the kitchen baking this evening, and they do this thing every week in the UK on a Thursday at 8 o'clock where everyone goes outside and claps outside their house for the NHS.
Yep.
And we have missed it a few times because we just
I've been
don't.
watching telly.
Yeah, we just don't realise. But anyway, everyone was out in the street, and we saw them through the window, and we're like, oh shit, we better go out there and join them. And so we ran outside, and they'd all stopped clapping. They were all just kind of standing around. So suddenly we were also just standing around, and
Yeah,
it was
get
awkward.
back in again.
yeah, we made an appearance. You know,
Mhm.
people saw us. They all looked down their noses at us, but yeah, we are definitely the black sheep of this neighbourhood. They're not keen on us.
It's next door.
It's us.
Next door.
It's us. Maybe it's our whole row of houses. There's
Oh,
four
yeah.
four houses in our row, and they don't like any of us. Could be true.
Or the next four along. Well, we're the smaller houses people, aren't we? There's probably some snobbery going
I
on.
see.
isn't
I see. So the 3-bedroom house people in the
there?
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, look down their noses at the 2-bedroom house people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that in the
Even
UK.
though my kitchen's bigger, and I've got a better garden.
Listen to you. Don't buy into that shit.
I do have a bigger kitchen. Their kitchen is the size of my kitchen before it was extended. So
I-
they've got all those more people and no more kitchen space.
Yeah, it's
Poor
pretty.
house design.
Well, it's a pretty pokey kitchen, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a sliver, if you can imagine a long oblong.
Well, my kitchen's pokey.
Yeah.
Well, my kitchen's twice the size of everyone else's kitchen. Apart
Right.
from next door.
Yeah, they're not
Who also got extended.
right. Yeah, they're not the biggest.
No, the original kitchens are tiny.
Yeah. Well,
Don't know how people manage.
no, I don't know either. Like they are. Like even now, it's still cramped. You can't.
It's a galley kitchen, so it's long and thin, and it's not really wide enough to have units on both sides of the
No.
long walls.
We can't even walk past each other. Going
Yeah, I
from one
don't
end
think
to
that's
the
anything
other.
to do with the size of the kitchen. I think it's more to do with the size of us.
We are getting a little fatter.
Yeah.
What do we have
and
for
that
tea?
You walk around with a semi half the time, so you know.
What do we have for tea?
accidents happen. What do we have for tea?
Yeah.
Chinese food.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also had half a bottle of champagne, which is why we had the Chinese food.
You say half a bottle. It looked pretty empty when I walked past it.
3/4 of a bottle.
Speaking of your gigantic garden, I did hang my birdhouse today.
Yeah.
Extreme pride.
Hanging and banging.
Yeah, I didn't do a great job of hanging up the birdhouse, to be
Or
fair.
banging the birdhouse.
In the end, the
That's
birdhouse.
when he dropped it.
I didn't drop it. It blew off.
Because you put it on a 2 centimetre wide piece of metal and thought it would stay up there on its own.
I just wasn't thinking. I wasn't
No.
thinking. I was like, I need to get a screw for that. Off to get a screw. Just left it there. Blows off. Smash. But you know, it was pretty well made, and it only had one bit of a crack in it. Nothing that some wood glue can't fix.
Yeah.
That thing's more wood glue than birdhouse now.
Almost close than the wood, yeah.
You could probably smash out all the wood, and you just have like a almost like a perspex box made of wood glue. So, but you know, we got it hung up. So there was, what was it, a plant holder or something that was previously holding up the
Yeah.
bird feeder or something.
Yeah.
So I put it on top of that, and then you got some screw hooks, and I stole 2 of them, and put one into the fence and one
Mhm.
into the back of the cage, and I
Mhm.
thought I'd interlock them together in like a little S configuration, and that they'd hold
Yeah.
on to each other. I was so wrong. And then, so I put a screw up through the bottom of the iron thing, the plant
Hanging
holder,
basket
Yeah.
holder. Yeah.
which is now underneath the birdhouse. So I put one screw up through that, and then I had the 2 hooks holding each other together at the back of the birdhouse to hold it against the fence. And then I got a cable tie and cable tied the hooks together. So that, yeah, I think it's pretty, I think it's on there. Like, I don't think any birds that make it their home are going to come crashing down to Earth. I think they'll be perfectly safe.
Okay.
Maybe not from the weather or anything, but, you know,
Mm.
birdhouse won't fall down. So, yeah, great pride.
So you made a birdhouse, made a cake.
Yep.
Filled the cake, topped the cake.
Yeah.
Had the Chinese food.
Also taught the dog
How to ring the bell.
to ring the bell, which is another moment of pride for me. I'd worked on it yesterday afternoon. Took him into the kitchen, just me and him in the kitchen, some dog treats. Taught him what the bell was and what the word meant. And then today managed to get him to just ring it without any treats. As soon as I say the word, he comes over. He was doing it with his nose, and now he's figured out he can do it with his paw. So he just walks over and bang, does it with his paw. We'll put a video of that on Twitter if you're interested in watching a dog ring a bell. You're going to do it right now, so we don't forget.
Yeah.
Smart. But, yeah, very, very cute. And, yeah, the next step, of course, is to teach him that means that the back door opens and that, you know, go out to the toilet. Because the problem with that particular dog is that he shits inside. And it's really annoying. So if we can teach him to... And he just kind of doesn't let you know. He just goes off and does it. So if we can teach him that, you know, ring this bell and go out, then hopefully that'll mean less poops in the house. I mean, dog poops, not our poops. We still poop on the floor, but we're humans, we're allowed. What are you doing? Don't play the video. Stick it on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm going to now, but I thought people might want to hear the bell.
They'll hear enough of the bell on the Twitter. Stop that. Our Twitter handle, by the way, is SIHWY. So it's just the first letters are stuck in here with you. You can totally contact us on there and send us anything you like, or, you know, anything you want to talk about.
Constructive criticism.
Or a new theme song. I've been hammering away on that. So if you want to send us any kind of music, we will use it as our theme song. Even if it's nothing. Even if it's just silly. Even if it's your dog ringing a bell. That doesn't count for you. Right? That's just the listeners.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've got one piece of British news and one piece of New Zealand news. Do you want to do the British one? Stop that.
I'm editing.
You don't need to edit it. Put your phone down. Wait. Pay
Is that
attention.
long enough?
We're making a new show for people. Our listenership's way up. You're driving it down. Pay attention. Put your phone down.
Right, I'm doing it.
Put your phone down. So, I mean, there's one thing. On one hand, I'm completely envious of her new phone. But on the other hand, oh my God, put your phone down. I've had enough.
But, you know, I don't know how to get out of
I
it.
don't know. Put your fucking phone down.
How do I save it?
Yeah, you don't need to do that. You just put your phone down.
But how do I save it?
Oh, just...
I want to save it!
Oh my God. If any of you out there have teenage children, this is what it's like.
Oh, it says it in the top left-hand corner.
Does
Right-hand
it?
corner. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right. I tweeted.
God.
Fuck you and your gay pony you rode in on. You're like this all the time. We're sat on the sofa, might be something on the telly, and you're having a conversation with 5 people on your phone simultaneously. I get up and go to bed, and you don't notice for an hour.
Don't diss my gay pony. Christopher is awesome, and I will not hear a bad word against him. Bloody hell. Anyway, moving on. You want to do the British news first? I'm tired of talking. Go.
Is there any British news?
I just sent it to you. You read it. I watched you read it. It's right in
It's
front
not
of
really
me.
British news, is it? It's Irish news.
It's British-Irish news. It's big news.
So people that were born in Northern Ireland are allowed to be British and European, so they can be European after Brexit.
Which is weird. It's not the sort of thing that I thought that the UK government was going to go for, because the UK government has never ratified the Good Friday Agreement, which was the agreement between Britain and Ireland to end the Troubles and all the
Yeah.
bombings and the IRA and everything else that was happening in Northern Ireland, to put a stop to all that. The Irish ratified it and the UK never did. But this was a court case that was brought by just a woman, right? She's just some standard lady.
Yeah. It was a woman whose husband is American. So it's basically she she's created a loophole for him to be able to stay, because under UK immigration he can't. But because she would be European, and he's the partner of somebody who's European, he can apply to stay under the European citizens staying laws.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's nothing really to do with Europe or Brexit. It's just some American twat who wants to
Yeah.
get away from Donald Trump. Oh, I don't blame him, but
But I think it's gonna create a really interesting loophole, because what I think will happen is that British people will start going to places like Belfast to have their babies, so that their babies are born in Northern Ireland.
yeah.
Because if your baby's then
It's
born,
kind of odd because loads of people come here from there to get rid of their babies.
well, they did, but then they made abortion legal, didn't they?
Oh, I don't
that was either this year or last year.
Okay.
So yeah, Northern Ireland had been like this ridiculous holdout. It was the only place in the UK where it was illegal to have an abortion. But I think
Yeah.
they've cleared that now. That 1 inch high hurdle. I think they managed to get over it. So they no longer have to come to England to have their abortions. They can now have them in Northern Ireland. But I think, what's going to happen, the ironic thing is now you're going to have a bunch of other people from the UK going to Northern Ireland simply to have babies, so that they have...
I don't think people would do that.
You don't think they're going to do that? They are 100% going to do that.
If I was, 8.5 months pregnant, I don't think I'd want to travel anywhere, let alone across the Irish Sea.
Ah, no, it's pretty cheap in Belfast. Plenty of like orange Oompa Loompa women walking around. It's interesting. Yeah. Have you not been? It's like going to friggin' Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The women with all like the massive fake tan, and it's so
What's that
fake
got to do
it's
with
orange.
being 8 months pregnant?
Like it's like being in a candy store, there's entertainment and it's cheap and no, nothing. Okay.
No, I think you're being incredibly racist. I think we're going to get complaints.
What?
I'd just
about-
like to distance
What,
myself
from the Oompa
his...
Loompas? The Oompa Loompas are going to get in touch. Like, we heard what you said on our podcast.
No, Irish people.
We don't like the tone of your voice. No, it's not all Irish people. It's just that when you go to Belfast, you see these orange women. And it's weird because it is a
Are
little
you
bit...
talking about Belfast or Essex?
Well, this is the thing. Like, you see them in Essex, right?
Yeah.
And they've got their own TV show in Essex.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have their own TV show in Belfast.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is like, look at our Oompa Loompa women. But I when I was there, I went to TK Maxx to buy a raincoat because the weather was turning.
Yeah.
And they're all in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I didn't mind Belfast, and I did like how cheap it was. I had one really interesting moment while I was over there, though. Me and the friend I went to visit were both Kiwis.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, let's go to the movies. And we went to see Train Spotting 2.
yeah.
And we're in there watching Train Spotting 2. And what... There's a scene in Train Spotting 2 where it's all about Protestants versus Catholics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite intense, and they're singing about how they wish all the Catholics were dead, and it's a scene that goes on for ages, and it's all the big sing along about how they wish all the Catholics were dead, and we're sitting in this fucking theatre in Belfast, slinking into our seats, just getting as low as we can. It was so awkward. Yeah, wow, what a moment in time.
Mm.
And that's like right down the road from that hotel, which is famously the most bombed hotel in Belfast or the UK or the world or whatever it is. I don't know.
Dunno.
Comes up in a Jurassic Park song. Jurassic 5 song. Sorry, not Jurassic.
Jurassic Park. It's a fucking long leap.
Yeah. See, this is hidden in the Jurassic Park theme music. A lot of people don't realize this, but in the Jurassic Park theme music, there's a line that's hidden under the music, which is directly attributed to the most bombed hotel in Belfast.
As I said earlier,
Hey, don't hassle me,
he's
man.
a dick from New Zealand.
You're such a piece of porridge.
Why have you stopped it?
I haven't. Oh, I have. No, I haven't. No, that didn't
You did
stop.
then.
No, I didn't.
You stopped it.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I went to another setting.
But the record light went off.
Yeah, I don't know why it did that.
Look, does it again?
I'm pretty sure it's still recording. I'd be shocked. So that said 21:46. Now go back to recorder. Yeah, it's still recording.
Okay.
So what happened was
The lights were off and someone was home.
So what happened was the SD card that we used to record these shows
Yeah.
had been getting kind of full. And what normally happens is after 2 or 3 shows, and we haven't had any complaints, I delete the previous recordings,
Yeah.
but I leave them on there. And what was happening was we were up to about 10 shows on the SD card. It was getting very, very full.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason was because I couldn't delete anything off the card. It was telling me it was write protected, and I couldn't get anything off it. And it was getting kind of stressful.
Oh.
And I finally managed to format the card today and get us underway again. But I was going to play your movie intro music, and I
Can't
couldn't.
remember which one it is.
It doesn't matter. But I couldn't do it because I've wiped all the sound settings out of the card and stuff. So you're just going to have a little moment of pretend. Yeah. Yeah. Good one.
It's like the Pearl and Dean theme tune, but not.
I don't know what Oh, that's that thing at the movies here.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it's like the ads are brought to you by
Pearl and Dean.
Pearl and Dean. I don't know who they are, but
No, I don't know who they are either.
yeah.
I haven't heard that in a very long time.
Well, we haven't been able to go to the movies. We live in a
No, I
box.
mean, even when I have been to the movies, I haven't heard it. Mind you, we always turn up just seconds before the movie starts.
Yeah, because we've been sitting around going, should we go to the movie? Should we go to the movie? Should we go to the movie? Oh, we won't make it. Oh, we'll make it. We won't make it. We'll make it. And then,
Go and stop for food on the way.
yeah. Both of us arsing about, oh, that's right. Well, we're just going past Wilco. I need to buy a plug. Like, fuck! Gotta get to the movie.
Going to Poundland to buy sweeties to eat in the movies.
Yeah, it's shocking. So, yeah, but what was the last movie we even went and saw? I don't even remember. Something. You had a broken leg?
No, I've been since then.
Have you? Since you had a broken leg?
Yeah, we've been this year.
Yeah, you've had a broken leg this year.
Oh, I haven't been to the movie since I broke it this year because I broke my leg and COVID started.
Oh,
So, but yeah, we've been this year before I broke my leg.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sure we have.
Have we?
Yeah.
Have we, though?
Did I eat with you in Bella Italia, or was that
Who?
the pasta place next door to the cinema?
No. Nah, fuck it. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. We did go to a movie with my friend Esther. What did we go see with her?
Oh, that was years ago.
Was it? I can't
Yeah,
tell.
that was when I broke my leg last year.
I can't.
Keep up.
I can't differentiate time anymore. It's
Yeah.
just
No, I was on crutches then.
anyway. Fucking hell. Okay, get on with your movie review. I'll maybe.
So I've got two movie reviews for two movies because I finally finished watching Dead Rising Watchtower. It's taken me about 6 months to watch that movie. I say watch. It was on and I was in the room. There wasn't a huge amount of watching involved. And then there was Dead Rising something else, which is the part 2. And again it was on, but there was stuff and I'd had some champagne and the movie wasn't that interesting. So both of them get 1 out of 10. Perfectly fine if you want background noise, but not much else.
Yeah, it didn't seem great.
No, it's just the first one's just taken me ages to watch it to the end, and yeah. I'm sure they made some money for the Canada Film Institute or wherever it was that made it, but
Well, they're based on a video game.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that flashed up in the opening credits to the second movie.
What? Just that it is based on a video
No,
game?
it said the name of the video game, but I can't remember what it is. Shall I look it up?
The name of the video game is Dead Rising.
Huh?
The name of the video game is Dead Rising.
Is it?
Hence the name of the movies are called Dead
No,
Rising.
I'm sure that's not what it said. It was it's comp something or other.
No, Dead Rising. And they've made several editions of the video game, it looks like. It goes up to Dead Rising 4. And then there's some remakes. Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop. I bet that was a cracker. Interestingly, not the first film in the series.
What?
The two that you watched, they're not the first ones. There was a Japanese version called Zombrex Dead Rising Sun that came out in 2010.
Ah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, maybe I'll go back and watch that. Perhaps that might be better.
Yeah, I could see it being better with subtitles and no English. God, they really were terrible movies. Like, just the worst acting, the worst filming, the worst editing. They were extended student films, weren't they? Like they really.
2006 was the first one. Then 2010.
Oh, so
Then 2013.
you're talking about the video games.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. So I'm trying to look up some more information about Dead Rising the movie, and I can't even get a budget. Like, I kind of think they didn't have one. Oh yeah, it wasn't good. But interestingly, when you watch them together, it kind of feels like a TV series because they've clearly just filmed it on the same camera. It's like they just ran from one to the other and just went with it. But yeah, it's not good. Not good. Yeah. So they both get 1 out of 10. Are they films for children?
No.
Yeah, about sums it up.
No, they're not really films for anybody.
No, they're not good. The film review's over. It's too bleak to continue. I did remember my bit of New Zealand news. I mentioned it yesterday. New Zealand was going to have their budget today.
Yeah.
And they did. They did a $50 billion budget, which is 17 times more than a New Zealand government usually allocates in a budget. 17 times more.
That's interesting. How many billions?
50 billion.
50. 50.
Yeah.
That's less than half what we spend on the NHS.
What gets spent on the NHS?
It's about 120 billion.
A year?
Mm-hmm.
In pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you remember New Zealand is quite a lot smaller than the UK.
Yeah.
So you guys have 65 million people and New Zealand's got 5 million people. So what's that as a percentage?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's less than something. Fuck you, I don't know anything. Maths is not my strong point. Just don't tell the university people who need to let me in on that course. I'd figure it out, given some time, because 65 would be 13 points, so New Zealand is a 13th the size of the UK. See, I did it. I just had to let my subconscious work it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money and a lot of things are being allocated. It's a funny old budget because obviously they're stuck between a rock and a hard place and they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. Like, they're going to be attacked no matter what. I think they're trying to do the right thing, trying to keep people employed, trying to support a whole lot of services and industry. They're trying to put money into, furthering education and all the people who have to switch careers and all that sort of stuff. They're trying to cover all of those bases without having any austerity whatsoever. But yeah, people are still pissy, especially people from the tourism industry because, a lot of people in New Zealand work in the tourism industry. And it's been an absolute boom sector for New Zealand the last 10, 20 years. And now all those people are pretty much stuffed because there's no more plane loads of people coming in from Asia or America or the UK or wherever else. And, you just throw your phone down and it started playing.
I found that movie. I want to watch it now.
What movie?
It's on Brex.
Oh,
Dead Rising Sun.
The Japanese one. Well, pay attention. I'm talking about the New Zealand budget. I did mention yesterday they're going to throw a whole lot of extra money at health. That's to help all of the district health boards cope. It's also to prep for whether or not this happens again in the future.
Yeah.
So basically to, sort out all the extra PPE, I don't know if they're going to build isolation chambers or anything like that. But
Where is it they've got them? Is it South Korea?
they had them in Taiwan, they had them in Singapore. Yeah, the ones in Singapore look really flash.
Yeah, they're just like on the like an extra room on the end of each ward, aren't they?
I don't remember. They look bloody
Yeah.
fancy though.
Yeah.
If New Zealand won't build fancy ones. New Zealand would be like an outhouse in the field. Anyway.
I was
They
about to
work.
say they just rebuilt the hospital in Christchurch, but they kind of had to because the last one fell down.
Yeah, earthquakes and such.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, New Zealand's had some real shockwaves through its budgets over the last few years. Obviously, we had the big economic meltdown in 2008, but then New Zealand had these massive earthquakes, an entire big city fell down, that whole thing. So New Zealand's had these big chunks taken out of its, and this is just another thing. So New Zealand hasn't really been able to get on the front foot, as it were, but it has been able to keep its head above water. So hats off. They still managed to give $400 million to the tourism industry. I don't know how that's going to be allocated, but something to support that industry, even though a lot of those people are going to just have to stop doing what they're doing because, they fly things like, helicopters onto the tops of glaciers. New Zealanders can't afford to do that. It's not within our wheelhouse. That's something that, people from China come to New Zealand to do.
Foreigners do.
Yeah. So things like that, those industries just aren't going to exist. They've pumped 1.6 billion into trades and apprenticeships for people to change. There's 1.1 billion going into nature-based jobs, which is a whole lot of pest control and conservation stuff. So New Zealand's trying to clean up its waterways because with the industrialization of the dairies and all that kind of stuff, they've managed to ruin some bits of New Zealand. It's kind of gross.
Oh.
Yeah, so trying to
So
figure
those
that out.
things appeal to you.
They do. The pest control is a big one. New Zealand's trying to become predator-free by 2050. So get rid of all the rats, the possums, stoats, weasels, rabbits, all that kind of stuff. Kill them all off by 2050.
Can they catch them and bring them back to the UK, the stoats and the weasels? Because I think we're short of those.
Are you?
Yeah.
We are completely overrun.
Yeah. Because you don't have
Completely
anything to kill them
overrun.
off, whereas we've got foxes and badgers and shit.
Yeah, we've got nothing. Yeah, they're just rampant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they were hunted here as well.
Yeah, it's the same with the possums. Like we've got more, brush-tail possums. We've got more of them in New Zealand than they have in Australia. In Australia, they're an endangered species. They're protected. In New Zealand, they're a massive pest. We can't kill them fast enough. Like
Well, catch them and send them back.
we can't do that.
Why not?
Well, it doesn't work that way. Our possums have changed as well. Ours are massive, big, fat things. Whereas when you go to Aussie and you see a possum, they kind of move more like a squirrel. They're all wiry and little.
Yeah, because they
getting by
haven't been
their
fed
wits.
properly. But if you take them over as babies, they'll just grow up like that.
I don't think that's going to happen. We prefer to turn them into nipple warmers and fancy undies and various socks. Well, you got to do something with them, otherwise it's just a waste. So
Nipple warmers.
yeah, you can buy possum fur nipple warmers.
I want the first ones.
Definitely a thing in New Zealand. Anyway, they're pumping $3 billion into infrastructure.
Oh,
and
he's
job
still
creation.
going?
Yes, just we've got a bunch of New Zealand listeners and stuff. They want to, they're
Yeah,
probably
they can listen to this shit on the news.
Okay, well, yeah, New Zealand's spending a bunch of money. There you go. Well, I'm done. Podcast over.
Oh, good.
I was going somewhere with that,
All right, go on. Just skip all the numbers and get to the end.
Right, so,
Go on. What was the point?
well, I was going to mention,
Yeah.
that they're going to spend $1 billion on rail,
Oh.
which is quite exciting for me, having just applied to a university in the UK.
You haven't
To try-
applied.
I've made contact with a university in the UK with the hopes that they'll allow me to apply for a place which they may reject me for. Stop trying to knock me back, woman.
They will allow you to apply. Look. The knockback is going to. It isn't
Now
going to
you've
come.
upset that box
It
and
might
it's jumped off the table.
Look, this isn't part of the process. Writing to them and asking them questions isn't part of the application process. You apply, and they either say yes or no based on the evidence you put in your application form.
I thought they had to offer you a place, like they have to offer you the chance to apply.
No, what a crock! Who told you that?
I don't know.
If you're applying for an undergraduate program that's dependent on your A levels, when you're 18, then yeah, you get a conditional offer. You get offered a place based on you getting A-level results, and then you get offered a final offer, when your A-level results come through. But that's not you. You're about 20 years past that. So
Thank goodness.
yeah. So no, you just apply and they say yes or no.
Oh, great. Well, I'd like to strike up a conversation where,
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing to do. They're more likely to take you seriously if you don't, send in a blind application. Same thing with a job. People are surprised when they don't get invited for interview when they've had no contact with the company before they've submitted their application form. It's like, there's a name and a number there. They expect you to call them and ask questions. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll keep doing that then. I'll really hammer that home. I'll get on the phone to them tomorrow, being a Friday. Is that a good day to contact people in the UK? I never know.
It's a day of the week.
Yeah, I know, but people in the UK are
Well, you
so
just don't
funny
know.
about
I mean,
things.
it's, it was all upside down because of COVID, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway.
People are working 5 days a week. I expect to be working on a Friday.
You're certainly overworked. You're spent, aren't you? You're ready. You've had all that wine. You're ready for bed.
Yeah.
You're toast.
Mm.
No. Okay. Well, remind me tomorrow and I'll try to get in touch with them and see if they even got my email in the first place.
Mm.
And then see where we go from there. Hopefully, though, I mean, the whole point of this is that I don't believe that the current industry that I work in is going to continue in New Zealand in the same vein that it has previously. A lot of the people that I know, my contemporaries, have lost their jobs through this crisis. So there's not going to be anything for me waiting for me when I get back there. It's just not going to be like that. So getting another qualification in another industry where there might be some other work, quite important to me. In the grander scheme of things. Also, crazy plans. Crazy plans.
Yeah.
Crazy plans. Stop yawning. We're going to go. No more yawning and we'll go. All right? You're putting people to sleep at home. Get a grip on yourself.
They can't hear me yawning.
Yes, they can. You don't edit these episodes or listen to them back.
No, I don't.
It's, someone
Once
out
is
there
enough.
really wanted to. They could go through and mark down every time you yawn.
Yeah.
Anyone who does that, gold star.
Yeah.
I will personally make you a cake. The very highest quality.
You'll make a cake. Wink,
Very-
wink, nudge,
yeah.
nudge. Oh,
Yeah. The very finest out-of-the-box Betty Crocker cake.
That was what I meant. I meant I iced it for you.
Well, it was very kind of you to ice it with icing, which is more than a little bit dubious.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah, it's a bit of a wrongy. But, it looks okay.
looks like icing.
Yeah.
The fact that it's wood filler is,
Yeah.
nobody's going to know unless they taste it. Thank goodness it's not a taste test.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little on the dodgy side. Anyway, we will
Needs to
be...
go in the fridge.
More than that, probably needs to go in the bin. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. What's your final word? And it can't be a yawn. It has to be actual, verbal.
Has to be words.
Yeah.
I finally opened my birthday champagne.
Boy, did you ever.
Yeah.
It's a shame we can't put a photo of you just necking it from the bottle.
I have got a
On
picture,
Twitter.
but you can tell that it's me.
More
I'll put a sticker on it so that.
Oh, God. So funny. Rightio. We'll be back. See you later.
See ya.